Hey everyone, I hope that you guys are doing really well. I am going to do a video for you today that is based on a DIY project I've been working on. I had a number of you request more DIY videos. I did a few in the past with some DIY cleaning products, so some of you wanted some more of those. So for those of you who were wanting more of those, here you go. I am planning a baby shower for a friend of mine. She's having a baby girl and she already has a little boy. So she's one of my best friends, and I decided to DIY a bunch of things to create the decoration and playful decor. She's a really playful, colourful person, so and she's also very artistic and just fun, so it's not very traditional decorations, I guess, but I hope you guys enjoy seeing them and the sounds they make, and I'll tell you a little bit about how I made them as I go. So the first thing that I made were these little, I guess, centerpieces for the tables. There are 5 of them. And basically, I had these at home. In fact, I think I've used them in another video. They have this dark magenta and like a lighter pink color and maybe an orange down here, but I covered them with this dark blue what is this, yarn, and just kind of created a different look, because the only colors that I wanted in the theme were, well, not only, but just kind of this dark blue and this pink. We didn't want to go for a real baby pink. We kind of wanted it to be more maroon like this. You can see these were just $1 originally. They're from the dollar spot at Target. Actually, these were all given to me by a friend who didn't want them any longer. She loves to do crafts and she just gave me a bunch of them, so I'd saved them for kind of something like this. So the time finally came for their purpose. So there's a bunch of them. And it didn't take that long to do. What I did was I took the yarn and I started at the bottom right here, and then I just weaved it all the way up. I used Mod Podge, which is like a type of glue, I guess. And I just painted on the Mod Podge, and then I just weaved the yarn up and up and up. Then I did another section of Mod Podge and I continued it up here. And once it got to this layer, you can kind of see some of the lighter pink sticking out here. Once I got to this spot, I stopped. I just accidentally left some here. And these had some ribbons in them that I think they may have been orange, so I cut them out. I'm not actually sure what I'm going to put in these yet. Probably like, I don't know, maybe some flowers or something. I guess I need to figure that out. I may even use them for like to put chocolate in or something like that. next I had these, I don't even know what they are really, they're these wood circle cutters. They were, I think I've had them in like, I have like a little craft bin, and I've had them in there for years, just like waiting to use them for some project, and they finally became useful. I just thought it might make a cool design, like if I wrapped that blue yarn around and stopped at a certain point, just kind of makes a cool design. And this, I didn't even use Mod Podge for this, I just wrapped the yarn and just kind of kept pushing it to stick it close. There's some parts where there's like a space, but you know, who cares. So I might hang this somewhere, or just like place it against the wall where some of the decorations are food or something like that. I really like the sound of this wood, the tapping on it. Then I took another one and I did something a little different with it. I just wrapped the yarn, but I left spaces in between, kind of like a sundial effect, I don't know. And I left a little string on the top here so I could hang it if I wanted to. So I just had fun with it and made some different things. And then I made 2 more of those. But in this case I actually took some material that I had. I had this material that was actually a number of different materials that were sewn together, and they had these really kind of cool colours to them that kind of went with the theme. So like some maroons and dark blues, and then some other highlight, you know, there's a little bit of orange, but mainly like this is probably the side that I would show, because these are more the colour scheme. So I just wrapped this material around more of these wooden circles, and they kind of look cool. After this baby shower I might actually use these for decoration. I like them. I didn't use any Mod Podge for this. I just wrapped it and then like I like stuffed it in at the end. I tied a little knot or something when it was done wrapping. And I had enough material to make a second. The great thing in this situation is that really I didn't spend any money on these decorations. I had these things laying around and just kind of got creative with them. So I don't know if you have a craft bin at home, or you know, have some material that you haven't used, or anything really. Some string, some twine. or you could just go and buy some material and use it all over your decorations. If you wanted to do DIY decorations for an event that you're hosting. So those are the four. I have 4 of these. Let's see. I'm going to show you something that I painted for the shower. It's really simple and nothing big. I just wrote baby girl and then the last name of the family, which I'll probably keep hidden, but you can see the top of it where it says baby girl. So you kind of can't see the bottom, but I basically use that same kind of maroon paint. You may not have paint, I have it because I paint, but I just did a couple of coats of kind of like paint on here. I let it dry. This is just a canvas I had. I've actually seen canvases at like dollar stores once in a while. It doesn't even have to be a canvas, it could be like a foam board or something like that. And then I took some like craft paper and I ripped it and then I laid it down with Mod Podge onto the canvas, and I sealed it with Mod Podge as well, and it just kind of goes with the theme I was going with, kind of like wood and maroon, and then this blue yarn, I just wrapped it around the top of the canvas. You see, I just wrapped it. And I think I did use Mod Podge to wrap on like, yeah, a little bit underneath here, so it wouldn't move around. And I just use some paint pens to kind of write on here. I mean, it's nothing great, it's just, you know, a little bit of gold, a little bit of white, blue, purple. Just a little fun sign. Just to add like a pop of colour that matches everything. And then something that I did that I thought was kind of fun, I had seen these on a channel. I had seen someone make these little pom-poms out of yarn on a DIY channel. What's that called? Oh, I can't remember. I wish I could, because I'd like to share other channels, but if I remember I will tell you. Basically you just take yarn, the same blue yarn that I was using before, and I wrapped it around something. So the way that I made this was I took the blue yarn and I found something about this length, like a book, and then I just wrapped the yarn around and around and around, like that, and that, over and over. And then I had this circle of yarn, and all I did is I cut one end, was this end obviously, just took a cut in all the yarn. So one side was still wrapped in a circle, the other one was cut. And then all I did is I bunched it, and I took another string and I tied it around that, up where the place I want to make the little pom-pom head. I tied it around and made a knot, so it's all stuck together. And then what I did is I made a number of them. There's another and another. And I took some twine that I had. And I wrapped it around, tied a knot like that, and then about a foot later I put another, tied a knot, got it stuck on that twine, same thing, and I made like a little, I don't know, banner I can hang somewhere. It's pretty cute. And so I made one that was small to like go in a doorway, like entering or exiting a door. I'm going to put this small one because it only has 3 pom-poms. But I actually made a longer one. So I made this one to hang, it's longer, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Pom-poms on it, and it stretches a lot longer, and so I just thought this could go in another, like a longer doorway, or over a couch, I don't know, just stretch somewhere else, kind of fun. So I haven't decided how where I'm going to put everything, but I've just got all the things ready. This next thing is just something I had been given, and I was actually given this as a Christmas gift, and I do really like it. I love the colours and it's fun. It doesn't look quite right on me. But this is a good friend of mine, so what I was going to have her do, because it kind of matches a little bit of the colour scheme, I thought she might have fun wearing this for her shower, if she would like. It's just like a headband. She's really colourful and playful, like I said, so she might have fun wearing this for her shower. I thought I'd show you because it has some cool sounds. These little bit of gold pieces and beading along the sides of this little turquoise gem there. Of course it's not real, just plastic. And then this stretchy material. So this stretchy material on the back here makes some great scratching sounds. Next I have, this was actually one of the first ideas I had. This is that same material that I had basically ripped into different pieces. So you can see it was multiple materials kind of like sewed together. And what I did is I took twine and let's see, let me untie this knot. You can see that I tied the material onto the twine and just let it hang here. See how there's this is just like a piece sewed on here, and then the next piece is this one. It's got some tan colours with a sparkly blue in between, like lines like this, and then this one's kind of like a blacks and dark blues with some gold. Let's see, this one is kind of a mixture of colours. And then I had this other material. This was like a stretchy purple, light purple material that I just had laying around too. Sometimes if I receive, I don't know, material like this, I'll just save it for craft. And it kind of matched, so I just kept tying them on all the way along this twine. And I created a third kind of banner to hang somewhere with that same colour scheme and feel. So it was really easy to make. Okay. The last thing, I actually had my friend's son, who's about 2, a little older than 2. He made something. That's why it looks like this. I had him paint something with me that would kind of match the theme, but like he did it, so he can feel very part of this new baby coming into his family. Sometimes it's a bit hard for the first or any child when a new baby's coming in, so it's fun if they can participate. So he made this for his mum and his baby sister for the shower. It's just a square canvas like I showed you before, and then we smeared, I did it's like a aqua turquoise kind of colour as a base, and then I just let him take like a sponge, piece of a sponge, and dip it in some maroon and some blue, and he did some sponge painting. You can kind of see the sponge marks here. But then he just started smearing the sponge everywhere, so you can see that's what happened. And then he, you know, just had fun with the blue and the maroon. I gave him a white paint pen after that, and that is the white designs you see everywhere. He was stomping that pen everywhere. And then there's just some white kind of that got smeared all around from the pen. And then we took some of the blue yarn and we put some Mod Podge on here, and he put his yarn on there in, as you can see, a very lovely